So, Adina, if you were to introduce yourself to the audience that's watching us today, how would you introduce yourself and what would you say?
I would say that I'm a person fascinated by people, by the conversations, and by traveling. In order to be able to travel, I need to work. So I'm an entrepreneur since 2009 when I started my first company. And since some time ago, I'm a radio host in Barcelona, in Radio Catalana de la Cultura.
Okay.
And we started with my other company that I also started 2 years ago to do branded content. So everything is like a journey.
Okay, that's interesting actually. So basically, you flew all the way and now you're here with us in Dubai. So, how does it feel like to be in Dubai?
I love Dubai.
Amazing.
I love Dubai, and I think for the project that we are here to shoot, that is called Visible, is the perfect place to start because we are going to go to different cities in the world.
Okay.
To have conversations, meaningful conversations, where we want to show the person behind the success.
Okay.
Because people see you, but they don't know actually who you are. They see like a LinkedIn profile, an Instagram profile, but we want to show that behind every successful person, there is something invisible. So we want to see what is that road, what are those milestones that made you the person that you are today. So that's why I'm here.
Amazing. So tell us more about the Visible podcast that you have. Who are the clients that you actually interview? Are they celebrities? Tell us more about the podcast itself.
Wow, Visible, it's actually not just a podcast. It's an editorial platform.
Okay.
It's a combination of interviews to successful people around the world. And then we have a live radio show in Barcelona that will start in September, where we interview people that need to be visible, that want to be visible but are not there yet. So we give them the platform, the opportunity to show who they are. We do a lot of previous interviews to select our guests.
Okay.
And once they are on air, we do our best to show what they can offer, what makes them special. So that's what we are doing with Visible. Around the world, Visible on the road.
Okay.
We want to meet people. And we think every city attracts a certain kind of profile. So Dubai for us, it's ambition. And since I'm here, my guest yesterday explained me some things that from the outside we see. There are a lot of stereotypes around the world.
Correct, yeah.
But here we see like women are not empowered from the Occidental point of view.
Yes.
That everything is luxury, everything is brand. But once you are here and you talk to people, you see that they are normal people, like all of us, and that not everybody is rich, not everybody has amazing cars. People work, women are empowered. They told me that actually in the government of Dubai, there are a lot of women, and that way before we started talking about empowerment in the Western world, here you already had a lot of programs to empower women. So all of this is invisible to us.
That's really nice, actually. It's a good point because you're highlighting this matter and you are also breaking the stereotype that Dubai has. If I were to ask you, what inspired you to start Visible?
To start Visible is that I realized, starting with myself, that there are some points in life where you think that you're going the right way. Everybody tells you that that's the way to go. And then when you stop, you go home, you don't smile, you're not happy. So I realized that people see me from the outside and they don't know exactly what made me be the person that I am today. So I said, okay, if this happens to me, that there are some persons, some conversations, some events in my life that in 1 second, they changed entirely the course that I was on, that for most of the people, I think is the same. Is it like that for you?
100%, 100%. I feel like all of us go through a certain journey to get to the place that we become. And many people would judge us on who we are, but they don't know the challenges, they don't know the events that happened in our lives that led us to who we are today. You agree?
What's your changing moment?
I think the changing moment for me was when I entered into the media industry. So there were a lot of critics because my degree was completely different. So I studied psychology and marketing. When I got into the media industry, so many people were like, didn't believe in the talent until slowly I became successful, launched my own podcast that grew very successfully in the region and even internationally as well. So when I broke that stereotype that she's just a beautiful girl that wants to enter media, now I have a lot of people that from the critics want to be a part of the media game that I've entered. So how is it for you?
Well, for me, it's more or less the same, because what they see from the outside
Yes.
is, oh, you're lucky.
Yes.
You're lucky to be there. You're lucky, and the same, like they see somebody that now is doing well. Oh, you can play paddle all day long. You don't have to work, but they do not see that I had no life when the others were partying, because I
Yes.
was building a company that, thanks God, today it's working by itself.
Bravo,
And
amazing.
They don't see the things behind. No, I'm not lucky. I'm
100%.
just brave enough to say yes to the opportunities. I worked hard enough to train and to learn things to be able to do well when an opportunity comes. And every time somebody told me you are crazy, I just didn't listen. I just looked somewhere else and I said, yeah. And then the same people, it's exactly what happened to you, I think. Also,
Yeah,
the
100%.
same people that tell you, oh, you're crazy, or you're just a pretty face.
Yeah.
When you make it, they forgot they said that, and they want to jump in, no, to join the project, the company, the journey that you are on.
100%. I feel like a lot of women also will relate to this matter, but even there's a lot of men as well who also went through something else. So this is a shout out to whoever is watching us today to follow their dreams and goals, like how you did as well and how I did as well.
Like everybody did. I think all the people that we want to interview
Yes.
went through that journey.
Yes.
But when you look at them, you just see the profile. You see the LinkedIn profile. You see this person is a leader, a mentor, a high executive, a CEO.
100%.
But and the Visible was born to motivate people, to inspire the people that are now looking at us, hopefully, and are sitting on their sofa and are thinking, oh, it's impossible to be there. I cannot be there. So we want to inspire people, showing your life, my life, the lives of successful people here in Dubai, in New York, in Singapore, in Paris, in Tokyo. We will go around the world with this.
This is amazing.
To show that all these people, they have something in common. We still don't know what they have in common, but we are here to find out. Until now, from the interviews that we had, there are two things in common. They are brave and they're hardworking.
I agree with you. And because I also interviewed a lot of CEOs, you know what? I also think dedication, motivation, and never to stop, to keep going even when challenging times come. Did you ever face any time in your career where you wanted to stop, but then you realized, no, I want to continue? What was the push that was given to you to reach who you are today?
I don't think if it's something I don't know if it's something birthed in doubt, or if it's just I'm not scared of a no.
Okay.
We say in Spanish, the no, you already have it. So I don't really care if you say no to me, or if I say something feeling-wise, professional-wise, maybe I say something that people will say, oh, that's stupid. I really don't care. It will help me, actually. I will think about it and I will continue. But the one moment that for me it was like total failure was when I started my career in Romania in the television.
Okay.
I got a huge opportunity that I was not ready for when I was 20.
Okay.
So I studied communications, now journalism, and they came from the national TV station. They selected me to present it live.
Okay.
In prime time.
Okay.
And they thought that I was so spontaneous and funny and so on that I didn't need any preparation for it. So they just told me, we see you on this date. And I also thought, I was 20, I thought like the world is mine, I can do whatever. I don't need to prepare so much.
Yeah.
So the day of that happened, actually, it was my first time that I was live on a stage.
Wow.
And I didn't know, they told me like half an hour before, can you go? And say that we are doing this. It was a stage with public in the mountains in Romania. So people were skiing.
Okay.
And my role was as a host to present the guests that they were interviewing inside the cabana there.
Okay.
And to be with the singers. So
Okay.
when they showed me the list of singers, there were the most famous singers in Romania that I only saw on TV before that.
Okay.
So I started to get like wow, I'm going to be talking to these people. And it was for me like, wow, I never did this before. Okay, no worries. I meet them. They are so funny and nice and trying, oh, welcome to this world. And I'm like, thank you. And I go up on stage and I realized when they gave me the mic to say, okay, be here. We are starting this show. You're going to be live on national television. I realized that my voice just vanished. So I could not open my mouth. And I was like, I didn't know what was happening to me.
Okay.
I panicked, but I didn't know what panic was back then. It was the first time in my life when I felt it.
Okay.
And I was like, hello?
Okay.
Nobody there that I was talking to the world.
Wow.
Hello? And then somebody was like, okay, somebody's looking at me. So I started talking to that person. At 1:00, we start a live show here and please be here. And that was the only thing that I said. And I went away. And then the next half an hour, I was thinking like, what am I doing? Shall I tell them that I didn't even know that was called panic to speak in public.
Yes.
I didn't know what that was. It was so new to me, and I was when you are very young. But back then, I'm 46 now. So back then I was.
You don't look your age.
Thank you.
Back to topic.
Back then I was 20. I just started, and I thought everything was easy because until then everything was very easy. Everything that I did, I had no big challenge in my life. And that day, I said. Talking about the courage, it's not always good. It doesn't always bring good results in the moment. So I said, I'll do it. We'll see what happens. So I went on stage, lights, cameras. I think back then we had like 20 cameras. There was one that had the red light. I don't know if it still works like that. But one had the red light and the others didn't. I didn't know that I had to just look at the one that had the red light. And I was just following. I found one camera and I was just following the guy to talk, to say things to him. And he was like doing like this with his legs, like get away, because he was the general camera. His mission was to shoot the public. Was to give like general plans. I had no idea what the plan was. How was I supposed to keep the mic? Nothing. And I was saying the most embarrassing things. Thanks God there was no internet back then and no social media. Because I would have been completely lost. But anyways, at a certain point, the producer told me, you know what, just stop, don't say anything. Just go dance. And I was like, okay, that's really bad, because then I started talking and I said, like, if I said here, okay, welcome to Paris, and they were like, you're in Dubai. Everything that I said was nonsense. Everything, I think I never knew that I can be so stupid. Imagine the people at home. My parents, they gathered the entire family. Oh, our girl, our baby's on national TV live. She's going to be a star. My friends in Bucharest, they were doing the same popcorn, the TV. Oh, Adi, she's on TV. And it was failure, the next level of failure. How it ended, there was like a brand that were doing like cookies. It's called Joe. And they had like a huge mascot, like a huge dog, with big hands, dancing on stage. It was like promotion for them. And they were telling, go dance with Joe. Go dance with Joe. And then they started throwing snowballs at me. Imagine how... And then I went with Joe and he was protecting me because they were throwing snowballs at us. My mom was like, oh my God, like, shall I switch off the TV? Shall we do something else? My friends were laughing. Show ended. I knew they were going to fire me. So I just left. I went when it was over. I left and I went to Bucharest. And I remember the way to Bucharest, I was preparing for the bullying that I was going to get from my friends when I arrived. So I arrived home and they started clapping like, well done, Joey. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not Adi anymore now. From now on, I'm going to be Joey. And every time I wanted to talk, to say something, they were like, go dance with Joey. So I was like, for 1 month, the bullying.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And that's when I realized to say I have two options. One, I do something else. Like my father told me, oh, you have to be like an engineer because you'll get well paid. You have a job and so on. I say, no, but I want to be this. Yeah, you tried this and you failed. So do something else. So I'm not gonna support you in a university that obviously it's not meant for you. Like, but be realistic. And I was like, okay, don't pay for it. I'll get a job. And I got a job. I said, okay, what do I need? What happened? So first of all, what are the skills that I need to develop if I want to do this? Because before that, they hired me for something. They said that I'm funny, that I'm good looking, and that I engage with people, with the audience. So they told me that, okay, I have that, because if not, they wouldn't have chosen me.
Of course.
So I said, okay, now I need to prepare. So I went to an academy.
Okay.
I hired one of the most famous actresses in Romania. With all the money that I had, I spent them on that. So she gives me like, I don't know how it's called, like I don't know, like to learn how to pronounce well, how do you
pronunciation.
Yes, pronunciation, and how to speak in public, because she was an actress. So 1 year later, I went to a casting. I changed my hair color. I changed everything. I kept my name because nobody remembered it. I was Joey. So I went to a casting and I became. I started working in another another TV station. For being a reporter, and then becoming a co-host and so on. And then, because meeting people now, I started working in another TV station for external news.
Okay.
And I had a boyfriend that was famous, rich. We were like, seen from the outside, we were the perfect couple. This was the visible me at that point. Nobody remembered me, the failure. They just saw this like two pretty young people that everybody envied, and I was not happy. Inside, I was not happy. So that was my starting journey, not that my first failure. I met one person that changed my life, not because of anything that happened, just because I saw that person like an example. I said, oh, it's possible to have everything. To be everything, to be smart and funny and educated, and to travel and to have this life. I will not have this with this guy. So I broke up with him. I moved to another country. I went to Qatar. And then again, Qatar, another story, no? And then they told me again, oh, you're crazy. Why are you leaving? How can you live this perfect life? It's not for me. So Visible, going back to Visible after all this long story, going back to Visible now, behind what they see now, the entrepreneur, mother of two, living my life, traveling, there is a person that nobody knows, just my close friends. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to say I love you first. I'm not afraid to say, okay, I failed. I'm not afraid to say, this interview, I said a lot of stupid stuff. I take them back. So I think that's important. And that's what Visible is about, to find people that are not afraid to show what nobody else sees.
Amazing. And thank you for sharing this story, because as a matter of fact, you are a mentor to many people who are watching us now, to many people who failed and stopped, to many people who failed, stood back on their feet like you, and became someone very successful. And by the way, for those that don't know, public speaking is one of the top 10 fears that people have. It's not easy at all. So to actually be in front of the camera, so what you actually did at that time for a 20-year-old with no experience in front of the camera, that's completely normal. So whoever's watching who wants to be on Visible Podcast as well, to maybe share also their inspiring stories with you. Back to Visible Podcast itself, and Visible itself as a journey. You do say that meaningful conversations matter. What was one conversation that you had with one of your guests that touched you on a personal level or to the audience?
Something that I do is that on the spot, I don't realize things.
Okay.
I don't know if it happens to you. Like
Yes.
you say something or somebody says something to you that bothers you, and then you say something and then you go home and 20 hours later, I should have said this to this.
Yes.
So it's the same for me. And it's like you wanna edit it after that. Like, oh, if I could go back in time, I would tell him or her this and this and that. But on the moment, no.
Okay.
So what happens in the conversation, I cannot say that I spot one thing on the moment that I say, oh, I go home with this conclusion. That's why I always ask my guests when we finish the talk, so what is one word that you will take with you home? So yesterday it was courage. The day before it was freedom. Most of the guests that I talk to give me like one phrase, one idea that somehow shapes the future me.
I love that.
So I'm trying, but it's not, I don't get it on the spot. But the one conversation that changed my life was with my grandmother.
Okay.
When I was like, I think I was 10 years old, and she was always telling us, like giving us life advice. And she told me, you know what, 1 second can change an entire life. And it's, I don't know how to translate it exactly in English. It's like what 1 hour of your life can change,
100%.
an entire life cannot. It's like, I mean, it's
true.
1 second can change more than an entire year.
True, correct.
So you never know. And with this in mind, and also somebody once told me, like, watch the Steve Jobs Stanford speech.
Yes.
And that was also something for me that changed the way I'm thinking, and always look back at connecting the dots.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, okay, the dots in my case are people. For others are sports, for events, I don't know.
Of course.
Jobs, experiences. For me, it's always one person. Like I met this person, and because I met that person totally casually,
okay,
this happened. And then because I met the other one, the other thing happened. So for me, it's a dots connecting, bringing me to where I am now. So I think that visible, going back to visible again.
Yeah.
That's why we want to do it around the world, because you never know. We just want to put ourselves in a place and see what life throws at us.
Of course. And it's a beautiful opportunity also to be in multiple places, to see different diverse nationalities and people. It adds a lot to your show. Tell us more, what makes Visible stand out from other interview shows?
Visible, what makes, I hope it will stand out. It will for sure.
No, for sure it will, no doubt, of course.
Because it's not just a podcast. We try to create a community.
Okay.
We try to empower, I don't like empower as a word. We try to inspire as you very well said before, that person sitting at home on the sofa, crying because something went wrong, seeing that what you actually see is not as real as it looks.
Correct.
So you see that behind that person that made it, there is a person exactly like you that just had a huge dream, so big that the obstacles that were on the way didn't matter.
I agree.
So, and I want people that I hope will watch Visible to see it as a platform for transformation, for them to be able to transform every episode, to learn something and to take an idea and say, okay, this lady or this man, this gentleman, he had to study during wartime with a candle. You're very young, but in your country this was the case, no?
Of course, no, I'm not
ago.
very young. I'm 37.
You're very young.
No.
But I had a conversation with somebody from your country,
Yeah.
and she said, like, when I was young, I had to study with a candle and bombing outside, and my biggest fear was that my parents could not come pick me up from school. And today that person is extremely successful and still humble. But when you see that person just on the news, or you see that person getting awards, you'll think, wow,
100%.
Definitely coming from a rich family, because if not, how come
Yes.
he or she can be there? No, so I
Yes.
want Visible to be that platform, because it's the interviews. Then out of each interview, we have something called random thoughts, that
Okay.
are articles that get born after the interviews. So after the interview, I go home and I think, okay, what is that thing that moved me today when I talked to that person?
Okay.
So yesterday I wrote about being brave. What does it mean? Today I will see what
That's
you
so
inspire me
interesting. That's so
to write about.
amazing. So basically, after every single interview, you gather your thoughts and then you write an article about it.
Yes, and all these articles, we are also in an editorial project.
Okay.
Hopefully we will be able to publish the book by the end of next year. That will be
Amazing.
a combination between personal experiences and what we actually do now, what my company does, that is branded content.
Okay.
That we talk to companies and see what their values are, and we put that in a format that audiences really like to consume. Not
100%.
advertising, it's just a company's values in a normal conversation. So it's very complete. I think it's like a circle that is closing.
Yeah.
What Visible is.
Interesting. Because nowadays I feel like people are always chasing going viral and creating content that gets more followers, more subscribers, without actually focusing on the true meaning of the content. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there is a big difference between having followers and having people that might buy you,
Yes.
like clients.
Yes.
You can have millions of followers and get 0 out of it, or you can have 10 followers and 8 out of them can be your clients.
Correct.
So I prefer to reach a small audience but meaningful,
Yes.
than to reach a lot of people and get nothing out of it. So I think being visible, it's important, but to the right people. And then there is another thing that we try to create, and I hope we do it, that is build authority. Because one thing is for people to see you, and another thing is for people to believe you. So
Correct.
there are many people that are very valuable, but they do not have the courage to take the step and put themselves in front of a camera, because they are humble, they are shy. So we try to show that by putting yourself in the lights, it doesn't mean that you are a bad person or you're not humble. Show what you want to do. Be visible to the people that matter, and build authority.
Yes.
Through what you say, through what you do, through your values. So we both do more or less the same.
Yeah,
no?
correct.
We
That's
create
true.
authority for people.
100%. And
Tell me, what do you think about it?
I totally agree. I always say that the most thing that will always make you stand out is to be unique. And when you're unique, that's when you are your own genuine self. Because there's a lot of competition out there. And the only thing that will make you stand out is your own self. And in my opinion, I always compare myself, like I see a lot of more successful people. And I'm always inspired by their success. But I always try to look at it from my own way and see how I was the year before versus now, who I want to be the following year compared to Alina, to myself. I get inspired by other successes, but I always like to be unique and to be myself, because at the end of the day, we each individually have our own handprint, and that's what makes us unique. And I see this in you as well. I feel like your content is very genuine, very organic, and you focus on building true, meaningful conversations, not someone that, only cares about being famous. There are so many people that are famous, but their background is not ideal. There are so many people that are famous, but they got to where they are today because they didn't really work hard for it. I can see from you worked hard for your position today. What are your thoughts on people who got there through connections and not by really focusing and working hard? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like
see
them.
that a lot. I agree.
I don't like them. And I think it's so easy to see through them,
Yes.
I don't want to use bad words.
I agree.
It's so easy to see if somebody is there out of merit, out of because they deserve it,
Yes.
and it's there because they want to be famous or
Yes.
because they know the right people. I really hate it. I hate asking for help, let's say, from people that I know, because I think both of us today we are in the situation where we can pick up the phone and we can ask for favors.
Of course.
I hate it. I never do it.
Oh my God, I'm the
Never.
same. I don't like to ask for a favor.
Never. I know people in Dubai now
Yeah.
that they could have helped me get famous people to interview.
Okay.
And actually, one of my friends will tell me, "Are you crazy? Why didn't you tell me? Because I know so many people in the media." And so, how did you
Okay.
find your guests? I went on LinkedIn and I sent messages to each and one of them, explaining the project and so on. And out of 100 messages, I got like 5 replies. And out of the
Okay.
5 replies, I got like 3 guests.
Okay.
Out of those 3 guests, they became people that for sure I'm going to have a coffee with next time I come to Dubai. And
Okay.
we already have with one of them, we already have like a new project together.
Okay, that's
So-
really nice.
I think that this is how the world should work. Unfortunately, there are people that are in a position because they know people. I don't think that we will be able to change this, but I do not like them.
I agree with you 100% on this. Today, you highlighted a lot about courage is one of your values, and you highlighted the story that you shared with us. What does courage mean to you on a personal level?
On a personal level, the courage for me is don't be afraid of a no. Just do it when you feel like doing something. Just do it. Don't think about the consequences. I think we are all scared. We are all
Yes.
scared of something.
Yes.
I think that when you took the step to your current journey, you were scared,
Yeah.
but you didn't care. No, you say this is more important than the fear. So I think this makes the
Exactly.
difference between making it or failing.
Exactly.
You're not scared of failure. You're not scared to do whatever your heart, your gut tell you to do.
Exactly.
What else? Freedom. For me, freedom is extremely important. The freedom to live my life the way I want. I will, they say that we all die, but not all of us live. So fortunately, I am living my life. And I like people that have to courage and freedom, I think.
I love that. That's amazing. If you were to look at your camera and tell one advice to who's watching us today, to tell them to not have the fear, look at them and tell them one message.
That's very easy. What can go wrong? What can happen? What is the worst case scenario that can happen to you if you do what you are dreaming to do to achieve the life that you want to live? Just think about it. And you know what's the difference between you and someone else with the same dream? Maybe that someone else doesn't have the courage to take that step. When you do it, you will make it. That's the difference, in my opinion.
I love it. Correct. 100% agree with you. What is the biggest lesson entrepreneurship taught you?
The bigger lesson that you start the business, the entrepreneurial business with a plan, and then you will end up in a completely different place. But it's okay. Have the plan. Try every day to do it. Set a goal and die with that goal in your head. It doesn't matter how hard it is to get there. Just even if it's the last thing that you will do in life, do it. If not, you'll fail.
I love your answers. So inspiring, actually. Okay. What kind of people do you interview or do you feature on?
I interview people that have a lesson to teach.
Okay.
People that have values and people that can inspire other people to transform their lives into something meaningful.
I love it. Okay.
Interesting. These are the people that, and sometimes I interview people that are not there yet, but I see in them that something.
Okay.
I don't.
The passion.
The passion is not just passion, but passion, motivation. I don't really think that there is a word to put together everything that I see in them. And sometimes they're like, oh, really? I'm coming for the interview. Thank you so much. But I did nothing. It's not about that. I think that the inspiration goes both ways. You can inspire me through what you did and so on, but you can also be inspired by a child. You can
That's
also
true.
see something that you lost in somebody that didn't make it yet, no? Because sometimes I'm sure it happens to everybody.
100%.
It's like, I'm tired. I already did this. I'm already where I wanted to be. And then you see somebody at the beginning of the journey and gives you like the motivation and the inspiration to start something new. Say, okay, like this project, done. What if I do something else? And you see that how alive they are
100%.
at the beginning of the journey. So
yeah, interesting.
that's also.
Where do you see Visible in the next couple of years?
I hope that in the next years, Visible is going to be the reference when you feel down and you feel that you failed, when you want to learn a lesson without actually going to a course, without having to pay for anything.
Yeah, of course.
When you want to think of something else than the current things that you're always thinking of. I hope people will switch on the TV or will have a look on YouTube.
Of course.
And we'll say, okay, I need like that extra push to transform my life. So I think I hope Visible is going to be that.
Amazing. The one thing, whoever's watching the show, they want to be do want to be featured on Visible. How can they reach out to you?
They can contact us on our Instagram, that it's my Adina Harnagea.
Okay.
On LinkedIn, also under my name, and we can also leave on our YouTube channel, that it MyEventLinks TV. We will leave everything on the screen so they can contact us.
Okay, interesting. So whoever is interested, please contact her directly. And if there is one final message from your heart that you would want to share about Visible, what would you say? Or about yourself in general to the people that are watching us today?
One quote. Nobody's going to die for you, so live your life.
I love that, really.
I think with this in mind, people would act differently. But if they really believe it, nobody is going to die in your place. So don't listen to what people tell you. If you're happy with what you're doing and people applaud you, perfectly. Because in my life, for example, I have different kind of people. Now the ones looking at me from the superiority, from the balcony, saying, oh, she has 2 kids with 2 different men. She divorced. She's doing whatever she wants. She has friends that are men and they come to her house late at night and they watch TV. And I have different business partners that are men, and people don't understand it and they just look from the outside with superiority.
And I see that as jealousy.
And the only thing that I can say, if this is your case, just don't listen to those people. They can look at you and they can feel whatever they want, but if you're okay with this, I have a very, as my daughter says, modern family. We are 5 in my family. My 2 exes, their fathers, and my 2 daughters. They go skiing together with the kids and I don't go. We do next month, we go on holidays together, the 5 of us, and now one of them is living with his girlfriend. She's coming also with us.
Oh, so that's really nice.
I think for me, this is success, to be able to see when I don't know, like a stage in your life finishes, and then you can keep the good things, keep those people in your life. If they bring something to you, transform that relationship into something else, because it ended. Whatever was a marriage ended, but you have kids, no? So yeah. I think this is success. And
of course,
I give it as an example that don't care about what people say. Nobody's living my life. I'm living my life. And I think this is why I consider myself successful. Not because of the companies, not because of the media, not because of people know me, because I am happy. I think I have a meaningful life and I'm happy with my life, and I can block whatever people say.
And I do believe that it is very visible to those that are watching us today. It was my absolute pleasure to have you today and to get to meet you in person and to learn a lot about you on a personal level. Thank you for sharing inspiring stories, a lot of details about Visible itself. I'm very excited also to be a part and to watch your journey and to see you become who you truly are and who you really inspire to become, hopefully one day in the future. And I believe that Visible has a lot of positive impact already. So I can only imagine in a couple of years how it will turn out to be. Thank you so much for being today with me on the show. It was my absolute pleasure meeting you. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap today's episode?
No, just want to thank you for having me here. And it was a real pleasure meeting you also. And I hope that you will be on Visible as a guest.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I would love to actually one day. Thank you so much. And to those that are watching us today, this was a wrap of today's episode. Put in the comments, let us know your feedback. And as said, if you want to join Visible and be a part of this wonderful, successful journey, you are more than welcome, as Adina herself has welcomed all of you. So this is a wrap. Alina Khalife, goodbye and take care.